Hey guys, welcome back to the video. I just want to do a TLDR of this video real quick. We actually recorded this the day before Niantic announced they're going to be adding some catch-up quest lines for new players, but I still think this is a very relevant discussion, so let's dive into it. Yo, what's up, man? How's it going?
My camera setup is pretty amateur.
Oh no, it looks great. Got the whole vertical thing going on. Me and Boygos have been chatting behind the scenes, and there's a few things we were talking about that could possibly help improve the state of the game for new players to maybe potentially get.
And we're gonna try and keep it positive for this time. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our absolute best to keep it positive.
We're gonna pull some blows. No, but we're gonna address things that are actually very possible for Niantic to do in the game right now that could open up the barrier to entry for a lot of new players. Because there's going to be a lot of eyes on the game now that Pokemon Go has an esports section. And the thing that we really want to be doing here is growing this community and opening up the access to the PvP aspect of the game. So a new player could come in with knowledge and taking advantage of the allotted resources given to them and actually be able to beat a veteran player who's been playing since day one.
Right. I mean, you have a background in VGC, so I think you can understand where I'm coming from when I say that, like, there's always going to be a element of like preparation. He's not arguing like this should be like Fortnite where anybody can pick it up day one and be better than somebody else. Like, there's always going to be that adventure of Pokemon, of like finding the Pokemon you want and like prepping it, right? But the barriers to entry are obscene, right? Like, there are things like the rocket events, the community day moves, some kind of things, part of the game, I guess. But some of them, we'll get back to that later.
I mean, in Great League alone, I've been running Venusaur for the past 3 seasons. A new player is going to have to trade for that, or I don't even know if there's a catch-up event for Frenzy Plant Venusaur.
In the works? No, there's very few catch-up events like announced in the works. But
and even to be community days for the end of the year, it's only the last 2 years.
Yeah, that is one thing they could really do, is just set the precedent that any community day, like, it evolves for the move, right? Like, maybe for the case of things like Charmander, like, it evolves with the newest move. Like, you don't get both Blast Burn and Dragon Breath if they really want to pull some slimy stuff, I would argue, like, honestly, because like the Blast Burn Charizard is like, it's older, right? Like, they should just bring it back in a different event. I think like the community day thing is like, yeah, Blast Burn, you need Blast Burn. You need Blast Burn. You don't need Dragon Breath, right? But it's nice to have it in some situations. And like,
yeah, it's mainly for Ultra League though that it's more viable. Dragon Breath, Charizard.
Well, and we don't even know what it's going to be like in the future with Megas. But I will say that Dragon Breath Charizard for raids, for Charizard X, that has stab. So it is a beast with Dragon Breath in raids. It's coming in clutch with against Giratina here. It's because I just have all that free Mega Charizard energy from when it was in like raids and like raids, like tasks and stuff, like that one time. I don't know if you remember that one month where you get like 20 Charizard energy for like just doing a quick scan of like AR. And like I would just like go up and down with my phone and just like scan the grass and just like basically get no data, get some free mega energy, like other people do their raids, go for it. Yeah, but I lived on a college campus, so I had plenty of Pokestops to scan.
Yeah, college campuses are really good for Pokemon Go.
Right.
But they should try to have more catch-up events in general for players so they can evolve some of their starter Pokemon to get these legacy moves, which are essentially required in the PvP part of the game. And going back to the legacy moves, we have Shadow Pokemon, which is another topic of debate because personally, I'm someone that has I have a potential Shadow Nidoqueen sitting in my inventory, but it has frustration, so I don't run it competitively at all. And yeah, I know what it does and I want to use it, but even me, someone who's a veteran, I can't pick what I want to play because there's all these barriers to entry still, even for me who's been playing since day one. And imagine a new player who can't even catch some of the shadow Pokemon because some of them do go out of rotation, don't they? And
right, yeah, no, they do, they do. Like Shadow Swampert hasn't been in rotation for almost a year now, I'd say, maybe even a year now.
yeah,
But I mean, I got really lucky. I got like a rank 3 for Ultra and a rank 6 for Great League of
that's great.
Swampert for both of them, and got rid of the frustration like the first time they were doing it, and I was able to actually even evolve them during Mudkip Day
Oh, that's
because
perfect.
I was hunting hundreds of those rocket stops when they first came out. So Mudkip was like the one that everybody wanted, and
Yeah,
so my
it's
college campus Discord people would just call it out, and like yeah, I mean, I would hunt them, and yeah, I just got some really nice IVs on them, and I'm fortunate to have that. But like a new player, I mean, Shadow Swampert is so good.
yeah,
I mean,
and
it's so good.
the thing
Like,
about the rocket events too is they're very infrequent and they're not monthly like community days,
and
for
they're
example.
usually very poorly advertised.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
it's like kind of like blurred in at times, like when that's happening. And it's like this very short period of time that you have a chance to get rid of them.
like a few hours, you know, like it's
Which
like
doesn't really make sense when you think about like, don't they want you to be playing the game more? Like, doesn't
right,
this feel like a counterintuitive feature in a way? Like, they're not really gaining anything,
right. If you get, I mean,
really.
they'd be gaining something if you could elite TM off frustration, right? Like then they'd be monetizing it, and an argument can be made that that's what they're doing. But this just seems like I don't
Really
know.
pointless. Like it's like
Yeah,
arbitrary in a way. You know, it's like
yeah,
it's cool to have like those events like community day. I mean, if that's something that, you know, I remember the first community day and it's more than just getting the move, but obviously consequently PvP became a part of Pokemon Go, and now these moves do have significant value. And community day is not going to change. You know, it's going to be what it is. And we
right.
could talk about the double move community days and be like, maybe community day already went down that dark path, but to have the
And it
frustration
kind of
thing,
did, right, with Roserade when it got Bullet Seed and Wither Ball, right?
yeah. But I don't want to talk too much about the legacy moves as much as they just need to be more accessible. It doesn't matter like the nuance of like how they're implemented in this video. It's more it just needs to be more readily available for a new player
Right.
because they already have to catch the Pokemon. They already have to get the resources, and then waiting
I
like
think it's awesome. Like one thing I want to say before we just like rail on everything, like stuff like Greedent, right? Like when they introduce a new Pokemon that's viable and like not super expensive to build,
yeah,
like
for
that's
Ultra
like
League,
that.
yeah. Or
Well,
even
it's expensive to build for Ultra, but for Great League, like I have friends who just started playing, and I'm like, hey man, like catch a bunch of these this event and like try and get one with the low attack and high other two stats, and like it's only 10K to second move, and it's like it's viable, it's cheap, and it's good. Like it's pretty good for Great League,
yeah,
right?
it
So
is.
like I think they are, to give them some credit, they are pretty careful sometimes about the move sets that they give new Pokemon. I feel like almost every new Pokemon we get is like viable these days in some way, shape, or form, or at least they try to make it viable.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Kanto, like we're looking at stuff like Kanto Marowak that still just only has ground type moves. You know, Mud
Yeah, that
Slap,
is
Bone
true.
Storm,
And
Earthquake. You
it
know,
does them dirty, right?
like yeah, and like War Turtle, right? Like could be crazy with XL, right? It could be absolutely crazy with XL because it has stats to just be nutso. But its moves are bite, water gun, like water gun. Oh, sounds good, right? Oh, what are its charge moves? They are Aqua Jet, which is an absolute dog water move. Just really really bad. Uh, Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. So like if he had like Aqua Tail, you can run the Sims on PV Pokey. He would be destroyer of Galarian Stunfisk and Bastiodon. Like it would be a meta mon overnight, right? Like
Yeah,
that
because it
kind of
is kind
stuff.
of tanky still as
Yeah.
well.
Well, there's a lot of Kanto mons that like just have crappy move sets from back in the day that like now that PvP is the way it is, like when they just randomly add moves, I think we should be getting way more every season. Like I
Yeah,
think that
there should be more buffs because like that's kind of what I was trying to say like to you when I was talking to you yesterday. Like I've been running this meta team for the last couple seasons and they've been making changes in the game, but the meta hasn't been changing at all. It's still Medicham, Stunfisk, Venusaur, Altaria, Pelipper, Sableye. You know what I mean? It's
I'd
like
argue Nidoqueen's a big shift. I mean, like
Nidoqueen is, but it's
it's
like
just a layer on top of what was already there, though. It's not like
yeah, it like
new.
joined the party. It didn't like change much. It just became a
They
part of
they
the
need more.
arsenal.
That's the key, though. I think they need to add more stuff to the party. Like when they added Cofagrigus, it also shake things up a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
like
it
not too
did.
much,
I
but
I think that Pokemon is a good example of like it being like really good situationally. You know what I mean? Like
right,
those monotype ghost types, they're only weak to dark types and other ghost types in the game. But
right.
like, with Sableye being so prevalent, I guess, and I don't know, I'm just like like if you line that up with a Metachamp, obviously that's beautiful, right? But
Right.
I just think Sableye, in my opinion, is going to dominate. And Kaffa Grigus is just like, I don't know. I think it's a little spicy personally, just
Yeah,
because there is
a
Haunter
little bit.
too. Like I
A
like
little
less
bit.
canon ghost types, but then again, I have been impressed by its performance. I guess I don't want to like dog on it. I think it's actually a viable pick for sure. You're right.
I don't have one built, so I'm not gonna die on that hill. But
I've
yeah,
tried running it, but I always feel like I'd prefer to put something else in that slot than
right.
that thing.
I prefer Hex Alolan Marowak or Hex Jellicent if I'm gonna ghost. Honestly,
Yeah, I
um,
mean, honestly, if you're running Fire Blast Marowak, that can catch people off guard as well. I've been
yeah,
seeing a lot of people lately running Focus Blast Hypno, which has been kind of cool because you
yeah,
never see it, but it's like now it's like everywhere. So I don't know. It's
yeah,
been a long time since I've shielded a Hypno with Bastiodon.
yeah.
But anyways, enough about the meta. Let's talk more about like ways they could help improve accessibility. And one thing I was thinking is that they should open up worldwide trading in this game for once. None of this you can only trade with people near you. They need to open up worldwide trading because one, this would allow new players to go on forums, Reddit, the internet, Twitter, reach out to players and get trades of Pokemon they actually need to compete. And
Right.
there's going to be a lot of
It
people that want
takes
to
that
help.
advantage away from people who cheat too.
Yeah, and
Like,
it it's more about like accessibility too. Like you could trade legacy move Pokemon, you could trade regionals like Tropius, you can trade for the distance to get XL candy. There's a lot of layers to it. Oh, speaking of XL candy, they should definitely just make XL candy a thing that you can
right, for
get.
all players.
Yeah, maybe like if they like it's one thing to lower the chances of you getting it as a lower level player, but to make it so you can't get XL candy until you get level 40 in the game is asking a lot of a new player who might want to compete in this
Right.
game. You know?
Like, and they have to. So this is a great example, actually. So my friend was level 39 for Gibble Day.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
think about that. Like, he's just not gonna have an XL Garchomp. Like,
Yeah.
his motivation for the game has completely deteriorated recently, and he just hasn't really played since. And he's not even gonna be level 40 before December Community Day. So, like, I don't know, like it's discouraging to him to see me getting all of my Pokemon to level 50 when we used to be going neck and neck, and like he couldn't even amass the resource.
Yeah,
Like
and
playing the whole day with me, he
you know,
wasn't getting Dribble XL, you know?
that's very tragic. I actually 100% understand that. And that's like an argument I try to make too because like me for example, I was level 40 for how many years now? Like
Right,
so
right.
when XL Candy got introduced, I didn't even realize until someone in my chat told me that people under level 40 don't get XL Candy and it didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
Why?"
That doesn't make
Obviously,
any sense.
well they've made it easier to hit level 40 in the game, but it's still
Yeah.
too much because you're pretty much telling someone go grind to level 40 before you can start getting and XL Pokemon are
Yeah.
viable in Great League. I mean XL
And also,
Lickitung.
like, if you do all these legendary raids, like under level 40 to
Yeah,
level up,
that's
you're not going to get the legendary XL candy to get into level 50.
it just feels like
I didn't even think about that part.
For me, when I think about games,
Oh
that's a quit moment.
man,
That's a quit
that's
moment for a lot of
embarrassing.
people.
Yo, that's stinky, bro. Think
Yeah.
about that, bro.
It really
Think
is though,
about
man.
doing
It
a
truly
think
is.
about doing a shitload of Mewtwo's to like try and hit level 40 before Givel Day or
Or
something.
like you're hunting the shiny and you're
Yeah,
going on it and you're not even caring
yeah,
about the XL candy maybe, but then you realize you could have had maybe even a level 50 Mewtwo after that grind. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But
right.
no, you have to like do it again,
But
which doesn't really make much sense.
you didn't open up and send 20 gifts every single day, so you don't have enough XP to get your Mewtwo XLs. Oh man, that's depressing.
Dude, yeah, it
That's
is.
depressing.
It's a little brutal. You know, people arguably say that the esports section is just going to be Great League.
Yeah, it is only Great League for the Pokemon Go World Championships.
Speaking of trading, though, you know how we were saying Shadow Pokemon go out of rotation? So they should allow people to trade Shadow Pokemon. And Boygos brought up this point yesterday, talking about how people will trade lucky Shadow Pokemon just to get instant hundos. And I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking the one way they could maybe
You have
open
to
up.
understand that this was a thing. This was a thing. The first couple days that
Yeah,
Shadows
it
were out,
was glitched out. Yeah, you're right.
there are
100.
people that right now have Shadow Luckies,
Yeah,
uh,
they
and
are in the game.
they
Very
got a
rare.
bunch of purified ones.
Dude, I
Actually,
almost had one too because I had a lucky trade with someone and I was like, I was actually streaming during that event and the guy couldn't do the lucky trade for whatever reason because we couldn't figure it out. And they patched that like the next day or something. It was like such a
it's
short
brutal, man.
window. I wish I got
Yeah,
it. But I think what I was gonna say is what they should do is whenever you trade a shadow Pokemon, they should make it so
you
you
can't
can't
purify.
purify it, maybe.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah.
that way people can still get access to shadow Pokemon, and maybe it can bring more value out of our shadow Pokemon as well. Like ones that
Right.
we have that we
People to
caught, we
like
just trade them.
stockpile.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like right now a Shadow Charmander would be worth a bunch.
Yeah.
Like if you could trade somebody a Shadow Charmander, and like a lucky trade. Are you kidding? Whoa, whoa! Imagine a Shadow Hundo Charmander. Oh
Jesus.
man.
Well, like in general, like is it even really that big of a deal if you think about it? If they could get instant hundos that way, you know what I mean? Because like technically, you do have a chance,
Yeah.
and like maybe
I
they'll just make it
I mean,
cost more Stardust to trade Shadow Pokemon.
I think personally that would be super OP, and I don't think I would ever do another lucky trade for something that isn't Shadow ever again.
But
Personally,
I guess I see what you mean. That's actually a great point. You know what? Because I was thinking like at least it would open up the barrier to getting hundos. You know, making
right?
it not like as like random. But I
Yeah,
can see where you're coming from too, where it kind
but
of just
then
shifts
you
the
have people
market.
like me who have sat around with 3 super rocket radars in their bag because I didn't care to do the legendary birds, just waiting for Lugia. And so if I get 3 Shadow Lugias and I trade those off, and then people can purify it, and then they get their XL Lugias for less XL candy because it's a purified Lugia. I mean, like that's a drastic example, but like there's always going to be people. You have to think about like the worst of the worst scenario in every single new mechanic. For one thing, with Niantic, at least they have to do so much to cater to not like helping out cheaters, and they do help out cheaters
Yes,
a
they
lot.
do. They like
Like
they hurt the actual player base because they just have to work around all the cheaters the way they do instead
right,
of. Yeah, it's very interesting how they like our player experience has to suffer because of spoofers or whatever. And I'm not gonna sit here and like get into that type of stuff because that's not our place. That's something Niantic. That's they've created the game, the community, the way they've implemented their game, how they've enforced their rules. You know,
yeah,
I mean, I at this point in the game, I feel like most people don't even realize that they're breaking TOS in some way because
right,
it's
right,
the
right.
norm. Like, I'm not here like to point fingers because like I don't give it. I don't really care. Play the game how you
Right.
want to play it. It's a video game at the end of the day. What do you think though, like about the idea of like opening up worldwide trading? Do you think that would help newer
Yeah,
players get into the
I
PvP
think the
scene?
Stardust costs like inhibit a lot of things from being crazy, I think, right off the top. So I'm not sure worldwide trading would really be like a problem. I don't know
Yeah,
why
it's hard
they
for me to think what it would take away from, because, like, let's be
yeah,
real, people ain't traveling to get a Tropius, and Tropius is relevant, and
right.
a lot of people could, like, that could be a community building aspect in itself. Imagine how there could be full Discord channels
Absolutely.
dedicated to trading, like how there are the rating right now.
Right.
And
They're worried about the money. They're worried about like people selling stuff, but the reality is that already happens.
yeah, and they already make, the thing is too, like, yeah, I know what you mean, like selling accounts and stuff, like selling stuff
Yeah.
online, like actually selling Pokemon.
Yeah, cheaters are gonna cheat, you know, like Niantic shouldn't make I mean, I'm not saying they're like making us suffer, but like I feel like a lot of the times they worry more about like what the cheaters are gonna do than like how to make the experience better for the common folk.
Yeah, and we also have to remember we're talking about like new players coming into the game, you know, not
Right.
us who are already invested, not people who have been playing casually for a couple of years. You know, it's easy for someone who's played casually for a couple of years not to understand that as a new player coming into Pokemon Go, that's a quit moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and imagine someone who watched it, who just saw the announcement for this for the first time, and they never cared about playing Pokemon Go, and this is their opportunity to join the community and grow this community even more. Because realistically, it's a really small community in relation to even Pokemon, even though it
Right.
makes a lot of money, which is kind of interesting if you think about that. But anyways, we're not going to get into that. These new players are not going to want to just dish out money for a game that they are not even invested in right off the bat. And
Right.
I see it in a lot of people. They just start playing it casually and it just becomes a casual game. And that's totally fine. But we're talking about Pokemon Go PvP. Do we want to just close off this community to new players and just watch the same few people up there all the time? I want to see a new player come in and with skill, maximizing the use of their allotted resources, outplay one of these top dogs. Like, I'm someone that I could be up there and I can win, but I'm not concerned about me. We're talking about what is the player experience for a new player? How can it be more accessible to get PvP ready Pokemon?
Time is like the biggest thing. I think honestly, one thing they could do is level scaling, like in the main series, right? Like if your Pokemon's not at level 50 yet, it automatically brings it up to level 50. Or if it's above
Oh,
50, it
oh
brings
my
it down to level
gosh.
like
Holy dude. I mean, that would like defeat the whole purpose of them making some money, but imagine.
I'm saying like for an event,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
exactly
exactly. I get what you're saying
like
because that would be
if
amazing.
you're invited, like you can just have things in your back catalog that aren't powered up, just like ready to go. Like
But like during the event, it will temporarily like okay. So what Boy Ghost is trying to say here is, say you have a Pokemon that has two moves or whatever. Say you have a Vigoroth that's like at 69 CP, but it has counter, body slam, bulldoze. So for this event, it would like power up your Pokemon to the appropriate CP without you investing the resources, but it would only be during that event. So
and then if the
in,
event goes away, the Pokemon goes back to the normal CP. And also, it only increases its CP when it's in like the battle,
yeah,
when it's in your
exactly.
battle party.
It's kind
Like
of like
that
when
could be
your
a really
best
cool
buddy is
event
your
to get people
buddy.
interested in trying things out in playing Pokemon they didn't play before. You know, like
And that could be the practice mode, actually.
yeah, yeah. That's a great segue to one of our last points here. Yeah,
Yeah, we should
the practice.
definitely. Yeah, in regards to just the PvP aspect, obviously there's a lot of like,
But
you know,
yeah, I think yeah, that last part. Sorry, keep going. But
well,
yes, the level scaling from main series, because that's something that the Pokemon Company has shown in the past as a precedent of something they're okay with, which we know we have to have as one of our bullet points to implement something in Pokemon Go.
yeah, and
Like
think,
that is the number one thing that they need to be okay with is the Pokemon Company's like canonical thumbs up within the storytelling
and I
universe of
think it
Pokemon.
fits because even in Pokemon Unite recently, they've added an item where you can test out items at level 30 just to see what they're like if you want to actually invest in them because they understand the time and
Cool.
grind is like brutal or whatever. So they want to make it
big
like
respect for the Unite devs, honestly. It seems like they're like really capitalizing on how transparent and like quick they're fixing things. I mean, I don't play the game, but like I've heard nothing but amazing stories about how quickly things just like they just hop on things.
it's true. They're really on it. It's
Yeah.
they really care.
I'm not jealous.
One thing I want to like talk about GBL as well. Like aside just, the playability issues and the glitches over time that, are frequent through the life cycle of PvP and GBL, they should just remove daily battle cap entirely from the game. And they could cap daily rewards to what it is, but they should allow people to be able to hit legend within the first few days of the season starting. Because think about, again, the person who sees this announcement
will be what they're really battling. But I mean, if they want to try, I'd argue they should be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the difference, really? I mean, people just want to play the game, and there's not everyone has. After you're done with the 25 battles, what are you going to do then? The reason why I think they should lift the daily cap also is so there isn't this need to play daily. Because not everyone's lives are molded in a way where you can just spend 2 hours a day doing GBL. But there are days that you might just binge like 6 hours because you're just, it's your day off and that's what you want to do. And you might casually play the other days, or you might not even play a few days. But I feel like you always get this sense of like you have to immediately do the thing to stay on par with what's happening in the season.
If they want to be serious about esports, they do have to really consider getting rid of the battle cap, because in any other game that is an esport, you're allowed to play and practice as many times. And having to practice against opponents that you have to find online is not the same as constant support from the actual developer of matchmaking, right?
Yeah.
So if they're not gonna, maybe if they decide not to remove the ranked battle cap, even maybe have an unlimited practice mode that is unranked, that doesn't have any sort of impact on your GBL ranking. Like if they really want
a practice mode would be amazing. Like,
yeah, a practice mode would be amazing. Like if they really have a problem with people potentially hitting legend in a day and they want to space it out and make them fucking commit to, like the long
months.
haul.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about it. There's no point.
Like if they really want to do that, to me, as somebody who doesn't give a shit about hitting legend, fine. Like I make them suffer. I don't give a shit. But I completely agree that people should be able to play the game as much as they want, right? Like as a content creator, when I have 25 battles a day and 4 to 6 of them lag in an uncontrollable way on my behalf or on behalf of the other player, that I have to like scrap the videos. Like I would love to just do more matches, just like get more content, but like I can't do that because I only have 25 battles a day. More if I bank one, but that implies that I didn't play the full 25 the day before, so not really more. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, and realistically, as a PvPer, how much of the time in your game is actually contributing to you learning the craft? You spend so much time investing in Stardust, getting candies, which is like mundane tasks, only to get this small little dedicated amount of time a day that you get to enjoy the actual bread and butter of what you're trying to do.
Right. Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the reality is that I think underneath all of this frustration comes from the fact that we really like the game. We want it to be like...
We want it to be more accessible to new players because we care about competition here. We don't care about winning. We want to open up the playing field for new players. We want to have more people battling. We want to have more people coming in. The size of
the game right now, who cares about who wins in it, in my opinion? Like, compared to what it could be.
Exactly.
Like,
and it
could be so much bigger.
This game's going nowhere without the community, that's for sure.
Like, the community is what drives it. And honestly, it's what's kept the duct tape train moving this entire time. Held together with duct tape. It's trying to lead. I mean, the analogy I was saying.
Yeah, say it again though. You have to say this analogy. It's so good.
That's what it is. It's a train that is in the station that instead of being held together with metal, is held together with duct tape.
And it looks good until it starts moving.
Yeah, until it starts moving, and then it starts falling apart. And most of the train is still working, so functionally, it's still a train.
True.
You know, that's the logic. That's the logic of the conductor as they go full steam ahead. So I'm just arguing maybe we should just patch up the train a little bit.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
like these are all great points, and a lot of these are just things that Niantic could consider and change in the game. And even as a veteran player, these are updates that I would welcome and think they would really make it more exciting for me to play the game. In general, like when I open up the game, it would be exciting to, do some trades with my homies in Europe finally.
right? Definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah,
I have
that would be
so many
incredible.
lucky trades. I mean, I'm not just saying this because I have lucky trades. I genuinely believe they need to, if they really want to take PvP serious in this game, they have to open up trading and
Right.
stop making this gimmick. All right, man. I
Yeah.
mean, do you have any final things you want to
No, no,
say?
I think we nailed it. Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, Boygos, man. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
getting in a call
totally.
with me.
Thanks for
Um,
having me, bro.
maybe soon. Oh, shout out to Boygos, by the way. Definitely check out his channel. It's honestly a great
Well,
Pokemon Go channel if you want to get some nice, spicy, you get your dose of spice. It's amazing what he puts out there. Very entertaining. And thank you again for coming out here, man.
yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. All right. Take care, homie.
All right, peace.
Peace, man. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.